Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. As usual, before we start our lesson, kita ni akan mulakan dengan berselawat ke atas Rasulullah SAW selama 2 minit. Mari kita ni sama-sama membaca 3 niat penting sebelum memulakan selawat ke atas Rasulullah SAW. Yang pertama, kami niatkan selawat kami untuk memenuhi perintah Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Yang kedua, kami niatkan selawat kami untuk memenuhi hak Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Dan yang ketiga, kami niatkan selawat kami untuk mendapat syafaat Rasulullah di akhirat kelak. 2 minutes from now.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد 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 اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد
Doa sebelum belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma aftah alaina hikmataka wanshur alaina min hazaini rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Ya Allah, bukakanlah ke atas kami hikmat-hikmat-Mu dan limpahilah ke atas kami khazanah rahmat-Mu. Wahai yang maha pemurah lagi maha penyayang.
Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Ya Rabbku, lapangkanlah untukku dadaku dan mudahkanlah untukku urusanku dan lepaskanlah kekakuan dari lidahku, supaya mereka mengerti perkataanku.
Amin.
Amin, amin, amin. Ya Rabbal Alamin. Our topic for this week will be probability. So can you please get ready with your notes, page 1 until 18. And pay attention, your first task will be completing your notes. And don't forget to submit your notes, refer to guideline notes. And the second one, about your worksheet, this week you have 2 tasks, okay? The first one, your PDF worksheet, and the second one will be quizzes, okay? Now, probability. Probability is the chance or possibility that an event, something will happen. I repeat myself. Probability is the chance or possibility that an event, something will happen. Okay, most of the time, probability we express in fraction. Okay, but there is questions wants the answer to be in decimal or percent. If the question asks you the answer to be in decimal or percent, then you write your answer in decimal or percent. Otherwise, put your answer, your probability, your answer in fraction. Probability must always be a number between 0 and 1, inclusive of 0 and 1. And 1. Inclusive. Masuk. Jadinya di sini 0 and 1 termasuk. Okay, I repeat myself. Probability must always be a number between 0 and 1, inclusive of 0 and 1. Okay, what you will learn in this probability? The first one, introductions to probability. The second one, probability scale. The third one, mutually exclusive outcome. The fourth one, equally likely outcome. And the last one, theoretical probability and experimental probability. Seems like difficult, but it is not. Okay, as long as you understand the basic part of this probability, then it will be easy. Alright, don't worry, jangan takut. Now, moving on with page 2, can you please look at your page 2? Now, I simplified this now so that you can identify the keywords. The first one will be the sample space. Sample space is the set of all possible outcome of that probability. The second one, events. Event consists of one or more outcomes. It has the symbol E. We calculate its probability as a fraction, as I mentioned earlier. And the last one, vocabulary. Vocabulary of what? Vocabulary of probability when describing events. Certain, impossible, possible, likely, unlikely, more likely, less likely, equally likely. You can read through the definitions of this vocabulary in your page 2. Moving on. Now, in your page 3, here I put an activity. An activity you can try. You can try to find out your own sentence. As stated here, for always, sometime, never, things we see or do in school. Always have a break period. Of course, we have break period. Sometimes go to the library, never bring a pet. Okay? Tidak dibenarkan membawa binatang peliharaan ke sekolah. Sorting possible and impossible sentences. You may write your own, as I mentioned earlier. Possible, example, rain today. Impossible, I grow purple hair. Di sini, it's not about dyeing your hair with purple color, but originally your hair warnanya purple. Okay? Certain, likely, unlikely, impossible. Likely, we have dinner tonight at home, of course. Unlikely, we have dinner tonight on a cruise ship. Maybe, it is not impossible, but it is uncommon. Okay? Another example, for example, it is uncommon to have a tiger as a pet, but it is not impossible. Okay? Maknanya, boleh terjadi, indah mustahil terjadi. Alright? Itu maksud ayat. Certain, raining and thunderstorm. Impossible, raining gum, ball. Rasanya mudah untuk kamu faham ya. Page 4. Can you please look at your page 4? Okay, in this page 4, it shows a formula to find probability. This formula is very important. PE means the probability of an event. E means occurring, P is probability, and E is events that occurring. Okay, so your numerator will be number of ways it can happen. Your denominator, total number of outcome, possible outcome. Okay, please remember this formula. It is very important. Almost all the probability will use this formula. So make sure you understand this formula. Moving on with first example. Example 1. This example 1 is about equally likely outcome. Okay. Equally likely outcome when two or more events have the same probability. I repeat myself. When two or more events have the same probability. Boleh faham ah? Maksudnya probability-nya sama. Part A, write the sample space for this spinner. You already understand what is sample space. So, whatever include in this possible outcome, you write it down. Okay, atau tak sample space-nya tu. So, here we have red, yellow, sorry, red, I repeat myself, red, yellow, green, and blue. And don't forget this curly bracket. Okay. So, part B is each outcome equally likely. Now, if you see here, each color region is equal in size, 1/4 of the circles. So, each outcome is equally likely. Kan artinya equally likely ini have the same probability. So, each of these have same probability. So, each outcome is equally likely. Boleh faham ah? Okay, now, part C. Find the probability that the spinner lands on red. Well, to click the lines. It's okay. Alright? Find the probability that the spinner lands on red. So, you look at red. We only have one part red here. So, the answer is, before that, how to write the answer? You put P here, bracket red. Okay? So, the event here is red. So, P bracket red equal to 1/4. Like that. Okay? And part D, find the probability that this one ni ya. Tolong tukarkan. Find the probability that the spinner lands on a traffic light colors. Everyone know about traffic light colors. Okay? Mustahil indah. So, here, if traffic light color, we have red, yellow, and green. So, you pick red, yellow, and green. So, it is 3 out of 4 possible outcome. So, the answer is 3/4. So far, so good? Everyone's okay? Kalau masih tidak faham, boleh bertanya. Okay? Okay, moving on with example 2. A dice is rolled. Find the probability that the number rolled is divisible by 3, a factor of 6 as a decimal. Pay attention to the requirement of the questions. The questions wants in a decimal, less than 7, and at least 4 as a percentage. Here, the questions want the answer to be in percentage. Okay. Then, a dice is rolled. Semua orang tahu dadu. Okay. And this one, dadu. And before you answering the questions, you need to find out how many possible outcomes when you roll a dice. Okay. So, there are 6 possible outcomes when a dice is rolled. Right? So, prepare with the sample space. Here is the sample space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As you can see here, Aradadwani, the answer we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, and 6. Okay? Then, you moving on with answering the questions. Okay? Divisible by 3. Step 1. Divisible by 3 maknanya boleh dibahagi dengan 3. So I have 3 and 6, correct? So we have two way it can happen here, 3 and 6, two numbers, 3 and 6. So probability that divisible by 3, P bracket divisible by 3 equal to 2 out of 6, and always simplify the answer. And you should get 1/3. Clear or not? If you're still not clear about this one, you can text and ask. The second one, part B, a factor of 6. Okay, so list down all the factors of 6 first. And the answer must be in decimal. So, factors of 6 we have 1, 2, 3, and 6. Don't forget about this 1. 1 ini selalu orang lupa nih. Okay, so how to write the probability? P bracket a factor of 6 equal to 4 out of 6. 6 is the total number of possible outcome. You simplify, but 2/3 will not be your final answer because the questions one in terms of decimal. So your final answer is 0.6 titik di atas, recurring decimal. Okay, 0.6 titik di atas, recurring decimal. Part C, less than 7. Okay, as you can see here, all of these outcomes, all of these possible outcome are less than 7. Okay, so it is a certain event. How we know that it is a certain event? Because it is equal to 1. 1 is a certain event. Kan tadi katanya cerita kan, probability is between 0 and 1, inclusive 0 and 1. 1 is the maximum actually. Okay, 1 is the maximum and 0 is the minimum for this probability. Boleh faham ha? So, the answer here is 1. The last questions, at least 4. Apa maksud ayat at least ni? You need to understand this one. You need to understand maksud perkataan at least. Okay? Now, at least 4 means the smallest number is 4. In here, 4 is included, which means 4 or more. Alright? Ingat itu ah? So, repeat the same step. Step 1, find the sample space. We have 3 numbers that equal to 4 and more than 4, which is 4, 5, and 6. Step 2, find the probability P, bracket at least 4. So you have 3 out of 6 possible outcome, half, and the questions 1 in percentage. So your answer must be in percentage. Your final answer is 50%. Everyone's clear? If you're still confused, you can come and ask. No, you can text and ask. Okay, next one. Page 5. Moving on to page 5. This one is another important part of probability, complementary events. Okay. Now, in probability, complementary events are events that together make up all the possible outcome. For example, even tossing a tail on a coin. So, tossing a head on a coin. Rolling a 6 on a die. Complementary eventsnya, rolling any of the other numbers from 1 to 5 on a dice. Raining, the complementary event is not raining. Being born on a Monday, complementary eventsnya, being born on a day other than Monday. Okay, you get the idea or not? Okay, so here maksudnya complementary events ni saling melengkapi. Okay, you understand that one? Saling melengkapi each other, one to each other. Itu maksud ayat. Alright? So, the complement of an event E are all those outcomes that are not E, or that are the opposite of E. Remember that an event and its complement covers all possible outcomes. Itu maksudnya tadi, I said, saling melengkapi each other. Okay? So, here, the sum of their probabilities must be equal to 1. Okay, I repeat myself. The sum of their probability must be equal to 1. And if we express these informations in terms of number bond like this, here is number bonds, okay? So, kan di sini, the sum of their probabilities must be equal to 1. So, 1 here, this one include the P events and P not events. Not events ini, we can write down like this. Tu ada yang atas kecil tu kan, macam ni. So, this one maksudnya not events. Okay, lawan. Lawan untuk E is E ni atas ni. Events, not events. Ada ni. Boleh faham ah? Okay, still with page 5. Now, to summarize the previous explanation, it can be written as like this. PE plus P not E equal to 1. Okay, sama juga macam P complementary events equal to 1 minus P bracket events. Masih je relevance with our number bonds. Any of these unknowns, so you need to subtract one with subtract one with the yang given here. Okay, so kalau P not even yang missing, so 1 minus P bracket E. Kalau P bracket E is missing, so 1 minus P bracket E. E kecil ni ada yang kecil di atas ni. Okay, so when we add them, both of them, it will equal to 1. Okay, now example 3. What is the probability of rolling 2 on the standard dice with 6 sides? So, macam tadi, I already show you a dice. So, berapa maksudnya the probability of getting 2? So, the answer is 1, 6. Ini sama juga. If you still not sure, you can write down the sample space. Kalau sudah faham tentang a dice ini, kamu boleh terus. Alright? So, part B, what is the probability of not rolling 2? Lawannya, P not a 2 equal to 5, 6. In terms of number bonds, P rolling on 2 and P not rolling on 2. So, P rolling 2 on 2 is 1, 6. So, P not rolling 2 is 5, 6. When we add both of them, it will get 1. We will get 1. Boleh ha? Moving on with page 6, example 4. A pack of 20 cards contains 10 reds, 6 yellow, and 4 green cards. One card is drawn from the pack at random. Find the probability that this card is yellow. Okay, it's only one card. So, if you see here, yellow, we have 6, okay? We have 6, so the probability of yellow equal to 6. And don't forget, probability, the answer must be in terms of fraction. So, where you got that 20? This 20 from the total here, okay? The total cards is 20. So, P bracket yellow, the probability of P yellow will be 6 out of 20. You simplify, it become 310. So, the answer is 310. Then, part B, the questions ask you about not yellow. So, this not yellow, actually, the complementary events of this yellow. Okay, so, P not yellow equal to 1 minus P yellow, this one. Alright, so you will get this and you will get 7, 10 for part B. And if we change this, if we express this one in terms of number bond, the information will be like this. Okay, So 1 break into 2, P yellow and P not yellow. If P yellow is 310 and P not yellow is 710, the sum of both of these will become 1. Okay? Boleh faham ah? Manfaatkan this number bond. This number bond is very useful. Okay? Ada few topics that I already relates this number bond to help you to understand the topic. So make use of this number bond. Alright? Very useful. The next one, part C, not green. Terus dia bertanya not green. So the only information given here is green. Green is 4 out of 20. So P not green, 1 minus 4 out of 20. You can simplify, become 1/5, and you should get 4/5 for your not green. Okay, sama aja if you express this into number bond, you will do like this. P green is 4 out of 20. Then P not green apa? Macam tu. Okay, just fill in the unknown. Just need to find out the unknown. Boleh faham ah? Now, moving on with probability scale. Scale, sukatan. Right now, we on page 6 already. Now, probability scale. Probabilities are given on a scale of 0 to 1. Dah lebih, dah kurang. Okay? Probability are given on a scale of 0 to 1. As decimal or as fraction, sometimes probabilities are expressed as percentage using scale of 0% to 100%. Apa yang kena buat sini ni, you already know in your previous topic. Okay? It's just a matter of we include that topic into this scale. Probability scale. Okay, you should know actually the percents and the decimal, the fraction. You should have the basic knowledge about that one already. Alright, now probability scale. Probability scale, impossible means 0. Alright, equally likely means half. Certain or sure means 1. Okay, so that's it. Probability scale. In this box, a certain outcome is 1 or 100%, an impossible outcome 0 or 0%, and equally likely outcome is 0.5, half, or 50%. Okay, I repeat myself here. Equally likely events are events that have the same probability of occurring. Okay. Okay, moving on with page 7. Let's try this example 1. I will give you 1 minute to try. So 1 minute from now. Okay, now. Part A. Rolling a 9. Rolling a 9 on an ordinary 6-sided dice. What will be your answer for this one? Okay. Do you get this? Impossible? If you say impossible, your answer is correct. Of course, it is impossible to get 9 because the biggest number of a dice will be a 6, correct? So the second one, rolling a number greater than 1 on an ordinary six sides dice. Of course, likely, okay? Likely, possible to get that number greater than 1. But see, you take a green counter from a bag that only contains black counter. You only have black counters. Obviously here you only have, that bag only have black counters. So is that possible to get green counter? It is impossible. Possibility to get that green is 0. Okay. D, a day pick at random ending with the letter Y. The answer is certain because we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All of these days ending with letter Y. Okay. E, a newborn baby being a boy, equally likely. It can be a boy, it can be a girl. Right? Boleh faham ah? Example 2. Francisca rolls an ordinary six-sided dice. So I will give you 1 minute to try. Part A, mark with a cross the probability that Francisca gets an 8. Part B, mark with a cross the probability that Francisca gets an odd number. This is what we call as probability scale. Okay, now six-sided dice, of course, you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And part A, mark with a cross, probability that Francisca get an 8. Do you get this? 0? Okay, this one. Because, of course, it is 0, impossible to get 8 because the biggest number of a dice will be a 6. Okay. Part B, mark with a cross, the probability that Francisca get an odd number. So, you will get half. If you see from the sample space, odd numbers, we have 1, we have 3, and we have 5. So, 3 out of 6 of this possible outcome. We simplify, then we will get half. Senang kan? The next example in page 8, example 3, a fair four-sided spinner is found once. Okay. Can you please try in 1 minute? Part A, on the probability scale, mark with a letter X the probability that the spinner will land on the number 4. B, on the probability scale, mark with a letter B the probability that the spinner will land on the number 5. You try first. Actually, this probability scale, it can relate with your fraction strip. Okay, it actually relate to your fraction strip. Okay, now of course the sample space will be 4, 5, 5, 6. Part A, probability scale marked with a letter A. So number is 4. From here we can see 0 to 1. So we have 1, 2, 3 here. 3 lines here. So you need to find out first what is the value for each of this line. Okay, you need to find out that one first before you mark the probability. Now, do you understand why I got 1/4 here, half and 3/4? Boleh faham ya? So 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 lines here divided by this one divided by 4. So each of this line will give you 4. Okay, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. And this 2/4 we can simplify become half. You get that point? And I repeat myself, this one actually relate with your fraction strip. So do you get this 1/4? Because we only have 1 4 here, so 1 out of 4 possible outcome. That is why your answer is 1/4. The second one, do you understand why we got B here? Again, you look at the sample space. We want number 5. So we have 2 number 5 here. So 2 out of 4. You simplify, become half. That is why your answer is here. Boleh faham ah? Okay, now example 4. Nazmi has a bag holding red, white, and green counters. Altogether, there are 6 counters in the bag. The probability scale shows the probability that a counter picked at random will be this one. Can you please change into red? Okay. It also shows the probability that a counter picked at random will be white. Sini sudah kena given. Okay. So the question here is, show on the probability scale the probability that a counter picked at random will be green. Now, before you find out this green, you need to find out this scale. Okay. And this probability scale relate to your fraction strip. Do you get this? Do you understand why I got this 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, and 5, 6? If no, you can text and ask. Okay. So I proceed. We want green. There are 6 counters already. We have red, white, and red, white, and green. Red is 1, white is 3. So we have 4 already, right? 4 out of 6. So remainder is 2, 6. So here will be your green, right? Macam mana tadi tahu? 1, 6 plus 3, 6 is already 4, 6. So we have this 2, 6 so that we can have 1 here. Boleh faham ah? Now, another important parts of probability, mutually exclusive outcome. Okay, now probability ni usulnya saja banyak. Okay, usulnya saja lengthy, wordy, but actually this probability is simple. For your syllabus, it is simple, but then you need to understand this probability by now because it have another part of probability ahead. Okay, in your upper secondary level. Now here, part 1, identify all the possible mutually exclusive outcome of a single event. Outcomes are defined as mutually exclusive if they cannot happen at the same time. Okay, cannot happen at the same time. In everyday life, there are events that cannot happen at the same time. It is impossible for them to happen together. We call these mutually exclusive events. Okay, the probability of both events happening together is 0. Example, turning right and left. Ke kiri je ke kanan jua. Kemana sebenarnya? Okay, ini dapat macam tu. Yang kedua, tossing a coin, heads and tails at the same time. Bagi kamu, logic kan the logic. For the tossing a coin, you will get head and tails together? Impossible, correct? So, tidak. Today is Monday and today is also Tuesday. Nada cuma tu. Okay? Because hari ni Monday, besok Tuesday, lusanya Wednesday, things like that. Tidak akan pernah ada Monday je, Tuesday je. Okay? Tidak akan pernah ada. So, that will be the examples of mutually exclusive outcome. Okay, let's try this one. Could the two events A and B in the following situation happen at the same time? You just say yes or no. Write down your answer, yes or no. So think about it. I give you 1 minute from now. Okay, now A. The answer is no. Roll a dice and get a 1. Roll a dice and get a 6 at the same time. No. The second one, macam tadi juga, we already discussed this one. So the answer is no. The third one, a bag contains 2 yellow balls and 3 blue balls. A ball is drawn from it. You get a yellow ball, you get a blue ball. Impossible, correct? So, part D, yes. Roll A and get 2. And roll a dice and get an even number. 2 is even number, so possible to happen at the same time. Alright? The next one, the answer is no. One student is selected as the class monitor. Jamal is selected as the monitor. Peter is selected as a monitor. Jabatan ketua. Kalau dua-dua. Is it? Dah pernah tadi dengar kan? We have 2 ketua di dalam a class. Okay? Paling-paling pun we have ketua dan penolong. You get the point? Moving on with page 10. If A and B are mutually exclusive events, then P bracket A or B equal to PA plus, okay, plus PB. Or, remember, if it is or, and then here must be plus, okay? And the second one, it is because two mutually exclusive events cannot occur at the same time. They have no outcome in common. The probability that either events may happen is the sum of the probability of the events A and B. And probability of an event, this one as to recap what we learned before this in previous pages. Probability of an event, number of ways it can happen out of total number of outcome, correct? So, please remember, if it is mutually exclusive events, your probability must be 8, okay? Must be 8. The probability of event A must be 8 with probability of event B, because two mutually exclusive cannot occur at the same time. Now, as you can see here in this activity 2, roll a dice. Even A, roll a dice and get a 1. And even B, roll a dice and get a 4. Now, you know that a dice, the sample space for a dice is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, the probability that you get 1 will be 1/6. So the probability that you get 4 will be 1/6. And part C, the probability of getting a 1 or a 4. So the probability will be probability bracket A or B is this one. So probability of A or B, the working will be 1/6 plus 1/6, you will get 2/6, and simplify, then you will get 1/3. Moving on. Next example, spin to win a prize. You spin the wheel which has 4 equal sectors. Even A, you get a calendar. Even B, you get a cash coupon. Okay, now PA. You will get one phone. Of course, you know that one. And the probability of getting a calendar or a cash coupon. So P, A, or B will be. Don't forget, if ada perkataan or, so you need to plus. You add that fraction. Itu saja perlu diingatkan. So you got 2/4. You simplify, you will get 1/2. Okay. So the answer is half. The next one, example 3. Now, maybe you can try this one. 2 examples is enough to make you understand. So this example 3, can you please do it by yourself? 1 minute from now. Draw a colored ball from the bag. There are 5 balls of different colors: orange, yellow, red, blue, and white inside a bag. Even A, draw a white ball. Even B, draw an orange ball. We don't have dragon ball here, so be careful. Okay, now your PA. Do you get 1/5? PB 1/5. And here, because of ada perkataan or, so plus, you should get 2/5. Boleh faham? The next one, discussion. In the above cases, even A and B are mutually exclusive events. Can you please copy this down? State the relationship between PA, PB, and PA or B. So, then PA or B is equal to PA plus PB. Okay, ini kirakan untuk recap. Okay, so why? Why we have this? Why we have P bracket A or B? Why? Here will be the explanation. Can you please copy this down? Read the complete sentence, no shortcut. 2 events cannot occur at the same time, so that they have no outcome in common. Therefore, the probability that either event may happen is the sum of probability of the events A and B. I repeat myself, 2 events cannot occur at the same time, so that they have no outcome in common. Therefore, the probability that either events may happen is the sum of probabilities of the event A and B. Please copy down the sentence completely. Right? Next one, activity 3. Example 1. Form 3C is looking for a new monitor. The probability of John becoming the monitor is 0.2 and the probability of Jenny becoming the monitor is 0.4. What is the probability of either John or Jenny becoming the monitor? Probability kamu ni is just simple one, okay? You need to find out the keywords. You need to find the keywords. Kalau kamu lihat di sini, ada perkataan or. Kalau sudah ada perkataan or, so dalam minda kamu mutually exclusive events. Okay? Ingat itu, ah? So, even A will be John. So, the probability for John's PA equal to 0.2. I put A here. Okay po lang kalau akan simpan P bracket John. Tidak ada masalah. So, even B, Jenny, PB equal to 0.4. So, what is the probability? 1 minute from now, you try first. Okay, you try first. Balik-balik saja ni sebenarnya soalannya ni. Cara men-solve sama saja sebenarnya. But you need to know mutually exclusive ataupun indah lah. Okay, now. So, the solution, PA or B equal to PA plus PB. Kenapa di sini or? Kenapa di sini plus? Because here is or. Right? So 0.2 plus 0.4. So the answer is 0.6. If the questions do not ask you for a fraction, do not change into fraction. So you can simply put your final answer as 0.6. Jangan tadi ubah-ubah. Okay? Just let it 0.6. Boleh faham, ah? So next one. Example 2. A bag contains 2 yellow balls, 3 green balls, 5 red balls, and 6 black balls. So, what is the probability of either a yellow ball or a red ball being drawn if only one ball is drawn? If only one ball is drawn. Ingat, in that sentence we have or. So, kalau ada or, what is inside your mind? It must be mutually exclusive outcome. Okay? Even A will be yellow. Now, 16, you should know where we get this 16. 2 campur 3 campur 5 campur 6, you should get 16. So, 2 of it. And even B, red. Okay, red, I will put as PB. Okay po lang kalau simpan B ni as red. Tidak ada masalah. So, 5, 16. So, work out for the probability of these questions. What is the probability of either a yellow ball or a red ball being drawn if only one ball is drawn? Okay, now. So, do you get this? 716. If you're still confused about this one, this part, you can text and ask. Okay? Simple sih sebenarnya. You just need to know either it is plus, bila masanya plus, kalau ada perkataan or. So this final answer, if you need to simplify, you simplify. If no, that will be your final answer. That's it. Okay? Now, part 2. Identify and record systematically all possible mutually exclusive outcomes for single events and for simple combined events using list, table, and tree diagram. Okay, now, example 1. How many different 3 digits number can be met using the digits 2, 4, and 6? Solution. Step 1. List down all numbers that can start with 2. So you will get 246 and you'll get 264. Step 2. Numbers that start with 4. So 426 and 462. Step 3. Numbers that start with 6. 624 and 642. Therefore, there are 6 possible numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cuma tu saja caranya menjawab. Alright. Example 2. 2 dice are rolled at the same time and their scores are added together. Find the probability of the sum of the 2 dice equaling 7. Okay. Here we need to find 2 dice, okay? So one way to solve these questions is to draw a table. 2 dice are rolled at the same time and their scores are added. So you put one dice here and another dice here, and here plus. Alright, like this. Then you add each of these small box, each of this column. Contohnya 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. 5 plus 1, 6. 6 plus 1, 7. And the rest of the columns. Alright. Then after that, your task is to find the probability of the sum of the 2 dice equaling 7. Cari mana dorang itu sama, find out the 2 dice equaling 7. Okay, find out the 2 dice equaling 7. Like this. See? So, the table shows there are 6 ways of making a 7 out of a total of 36 possible outcomes. 36 is the possible outcome here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 times 6, 36 altogether. Alright? Therefore, the probability of rolling 2 dice and the sum being 7 is 6 out of 36, which is 1/6. The next one, example 3, a running club has 200 members. 120 of the club members are female. 80 of the female members are over 18. 50 of the club members are under 18. Kalau dilihat macam ni memang berbelit-belit, okay? Memang macam payah usulnya. But you try to do it step by step, right? Complete the tree diagram to show this information. Find the probability that a member of the club chosen at random is under 18. Okay. Now, here is the solution. Here is the solution. So, 200 members, 120 of the club members are female. 80 of the female members are over 18. Then, so, if over 18 is 80, so under 18 will be 40, right? Then, the next information, 50 of the club members are under 18. Kalau sudah female-nya under 18 is 40. So under 18 for male will be 10. Terus, so how to complete this table? If female is 120 and we have total members is 200, so 200 minus 120, you will get 80 male. So if in this 80 male, you have 10 male under 18, so you should get 70 males over 18. Okay, now example 3. The questions want you to complete the tree diagram and then find the probability that a member of the club chosen at random is under 18. Okay, now we have 200 members, yes. Then 120 of the club members are female. So 80 of the female members are over 18. Ini simpan. So 80 over 18. So under 18 should be 120 minus with 80. Okay, complete for the female part. And then another information, 50 of the club members are under 18. Kalau di sini sudah 40, so of course kalau di sini 50 minus with 40, correct? So you will get 10. And then female is 120, so what about the male? 200 minus 120. So you will get 80. How to get over 18? So 80 minus with 10. That is how you got over 18. Now, you already complete your tree diagram. The next questions, find the probability that a member of the club chosen at random is under 18. Jadinya, so probability of under 18. Under 18, if you see here, we have 40 out of the total is 200. Okay, and 10 out of 200. 40 from the female and 10 from the male. So, you simplify, your answer will be 1/4. Okay, next one. If two spinners are spun, where the first is numbered from 1 to 2 and the second from 1 to 9, determine the probability of both spinners stopping at even numbers using a tree diagram. Okay, now we have two spinners. The first spinner is numbered from 1 to 2 and the second spinner numbered from 1 to 9. Repeat the same thing for 1 and 2. So here we have 1 to 9, 1 to 9. So then determine the probability of both spinners stopping at even number. Now we list down first. For the first one, 1 1, 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, 1 5, 1 6, 1 7, 1 8, 1 9. Repeat the same thing for the second one. 2 1, 2 2, 2 3, 2 4, 2 5, 2 6, 2 7, 2 8, and 2 9. Please copy down this one into your notes. Make sure you copy it correctly. Be careful. These arrows on this one and another part of these arrows on this two. Okay, sudah siap? After that, we decide which of these numbers that even numbers, okay? Both of them are even numbers. Stopping at even numbers. So, 2 2 is even numbers. 2 4 is even numbers. 2 6 is even numbers. And 2 8 is even numbers. From here, from this information, Ini kita ni panggil tree diagram ni ya. This one we call it tree diagram. The previous example also we call it tree diagram. Alright. So from this information, the total possible outcome is 18. 9/9, 18. And both even numbers equal to 4, 18. So the final answer is 4, 18. Boleh faham ah? Kalau masih indah faham, boleh bertanya. Okay, now moving on with page 14, theoretical probability and experimental probability. The probability of an event is a number from 0 to 1, yes, that measures the chance that an event will occur. In this part, you will learn about theoretical probability and experimental probability. Bunyinya saja payah, tapi simple saja kalau sudah kamu faham. Still with page 14. Now, the first one, theoretical probability. The theoretical probability of an event is the number of ways the event can occur, favorable outcomes, divided by the number of total outcome. This is actually macam yang kamu buat previous pages, okay? In your previous pages. So, P bracket event, number of favorable outcomes out of number of total outcomes. A favorable outcome is one of the outcomes in the event that you want, whose probability you are calculating. Okay, now let's see this example. Example 1. A bag contains 10 red marbles, 8 blue marbles, and 2 yellow marbles. Find the theoretical probability of getting a blue marble. In exam, you need to circle, okay? Because we have two types of probability here, theoretical and experimental. So you need to circle what the questions want. Macam di sini, diorang mau the question one, the theoretical probability. So the solution, there are 8 blue marbles. Here, we have 8 blue marbles. Therefore, the number of favorable outcome is 8. There are total of 20 marbles. Therefore, the number of total outcome is 20. So, error of 20 will give you 2/5. Sama kan macam yang tadi? Theoretical probability ni sama macam yang cara kamu mencari tadi in your previous pages. Moving on with the next part, page 15, example 2. A spinner, balik-balik kan soalannya ni, in the dice, spinner, balls, things like that, okay? Actually, benda tu terbalik-balik, soalannya terbalik-balik. It's just the matter of you need to know how to solve the questions. Right now, you already learn about your mutually, your complementary, and then this theoretical, okay? Hindi payah sebenarnya. You can detect how to solve the questions from the questions given, okay? A spinner is divided into 8 equal sectors, number 1 through 8. What is the probability of spinning an odd number? Sama je kan tu macam tadi. So, cuba. 1 minute from now. Part B, what is the probability of spinning a number divisible by 4? Part C, what is the probability of spinning a number less than 3? 1 minute. You try. Okay, now, part A, do you get half? Part B, divisible by 4. We have to 8, 1/4. What is the probability of spinning a number less than 3? P less than 3, we have 1 and 2. So 2 out of 8, 1/4. Sama kan? Macam the previous pages. So theoretical probability more or less macam probability yang kamu cari in previous pages. Boleh faham ah? Now, this one. Experimental probability. How to find the experimental probability of an event? Step 1. Conduct an experiment and record the number of times the event occurs and the number of times the activity is performed. Okay. Step 2. Divide the two numbers to obtain the experimental probability. Experimental probability is we experience the outcome. Okay. The formula for this one, tolong tukarkan experimental. Okay. Theoretical tukarkan experimental probability. So P events equal to number of times event occurs, total number of trials. Okay. Mula-mula ni memang susah lah. After that, bila sudah kamu faham the different types of questions, it will be easy. Page 16. Example 3. 13 out of 20 emails in your inbox are junk emails. What is the experimental probability that your next email is junk? Okay, so 13 is even occur and 20 is total number of trials. And circle the word experimental probability. Macam mana saya menjawab? So, P bracket junk equal to 13 out of 20. Kalau boleh disimplify, you simplify. Kalau tidak, just let your answers like that. So your final answer is 13 out of 20. The next one, example 4. A bag contains 10 red marbles, 8 blue marbles, and 2 yellow marbles. Find the experimental probability of getting a blue marble. Okay, now. Here, step 1, take a marble from the bag. Step 2, record the color and return the marble. Repeat for 10 times. Okay. Repeat for 10 times. Experimental probability ni, we need to know ba? We need to conduct an experiment. Things like that, okay? Kalau di sini, in these questions, they repeat for 10 times, okay? Then, they build up the result, okay? They build up the result. Red, among of these 10 times, red, dorang dapat 3. And then blue, they got 6. And yellow, they got 1. So, as the question here is about getting a blue marble, therefore, the experimental probability of getting a blue marble from the bag is 6 out of this total number of trials. Dorang mencuba 10 kali kan to? They try for 10 times. So, in this 10 times, they have 6 times got blue. That is, the answer is 6 out of 10. We simplify, you got 3 out of 5. Boleh faham ah? Okay, the next one. Example 5. It rains 2 out of the last 12 days in March. 2 kali. If this trend continues, how many rainy days will you expect in April? Now, step 1. Find the experimental probability of a rainy day in March. In March, we have rainy day 2 out of 12. So, if you simplify, we have 1, 6. Alright? Then, step 2. Soalan mau, how many rainy days will you expect in April? So step 2, to make a prediction, multiply the probability of a rainy day by the number of days in April. So 1/6 from here times with 30. April kan ada 30 hari. Jadinya 1/6 times 30, you will get 5. Therefore, there will be 5 rainy days in April. Jelas ah? The next one. The key information, comparing experimental and theoretical probabilities.
experimental, experiment, theoretical, expected. Okay, and in this experimental probability, for example here, you can make an experiment 10 times ka, 20 times ka, then you need to record the information. Okay, as in this example, a coin is tossed 10 times, and within this 10 times, a head is recorded 7 times and a tail 3 times. Ani yang dorang experience. Ani dalam dorang punya experiment. Okay, within these 10 times, they have head recorded 7 times and tail recorded 3 times. So P heads 7 out of the trial, dorang mencuba sebanyak 10 kali. P tail, 3 out of 10. Okay, but in this theoretical probability, a coin is tossed. And a coin is tossed simply that a coin will have tail and head. So half. Once we have that head, so 1 out of 2 because we have two possible outcomes. Okay, so P tail, 1 out of 2. Boleh faham ah? Sorry. Okay, the last questions. The bar graph shows the result of rolling a number cube 50 times. What is the experimental probability of rolling an odd number? How does this compare with the theoretical probability of rolling an odd number? Okay, here is the bar graph. Then, first you need to find the experimental probability of rolling 1, 3, or 5 from the bar graph. Okay, ini sudah kena record kan? So, just read the bar graph. Number 1, we have 10 times. Number 3, we have 8 times. And 5, we have 8 times. Okay, so an odd number was rolled. 10 plus 8 plus 8, which is 26 times in a total of 50 rolls. Boleh faham ah? So, find out the experimental probability. P events, and the events is odd. We only interested with odd. So odd we have 26 times out of the total of 50 rolls. So 26 out of 50, you will get 13 out of 25. That is your experimental probability. Compare with your theoretical probability. Here is the theoretical probability. Number of favorable outcomes out of number of total outcomes. Okay, number of favorable outcomes, which is odd numbers. We have 3 odd numbers here. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 3, and 5. So 3 out of 6 total of possible outcome. Sini. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we simplify, you will get 1/2. So the experimental probability is 13 out of 25 equal to 0.52 equal to 52%. The theoretical probability is half equal to 0.5 equal to 50%. Therefore, the experimental and theoretical probabilities are similar. Okay. By doing this will be our last topic. Alhamdulillah. And last part of this topic juga. Last topic juga. Okay. So we done all of the topics. Alhamdulillah. And after this, we're going to start with our revision. So, please complete and submit all your works. Check again. Pastikan semua sudah bersubmit. And hopefully apa yang disampaikan kamu boleh faham. You try to revise again and ask yourself, tanya diri sendiri, what is probability? What can you remember about this topic? What is sample space? What is event? What is complementary events? What is mutually exclusive outcome? What is experimental probability? What is theoretical probabilities? Try to ask these questions by in yourself, okay? Kalau sekiranya kamu dah dapat jawab, that means you still not understand. You need to revise. Kalau kamu dapat jawab, alhamdulillah maknanya kamu faham. Ini saja yang dapat guru tolong untuk kamu. So, the rest of it, you need to help yourself. Alright? Don't forget to submit your notes, your worksheet. For this topic, I have 2 tasks for your worksheet. Worksheet PDF macam biasa and your quiz is. Okay? Rasanya tidak lagi ada apa-apa. Thank you so much. Macam biasa, kita ni akan sudahi kita ni punya pembelajaran dengan doa. Thank you all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Doa selepas belajar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma inni astaudi'uka ma 'allamtani fardudhu ilayya inda hajati ilaihi wala tansani ya rabbal alamin. Ya Allah, sesungguhnya aku menitipkan padamu ilmu-ilmu yang telah engkau ajarkan kepadaku, dan kembalikanlah kepadaku sewaktu aku memerlukannya kembali. Dan janganlah engkau lupakan aku kepada ilmu itu, wahai Tuhan yang memiliki semesta alam. Amin.